In another video, I told you don't go to the police. And the concept behind that was if you're out and about, you're being followed, you're driving, and you think you're being followed, or you know you're being followed, don't drive to the police substation because there's likely no officer there. It's very unlikely that you're going to land there at shift change when the officers would be there. It's not too likely that anyone's there doing their paperwork. So don't necessarily go to the police. Find some other safe place to go. Check out that video if you want to learn more about that. But this week I want to talk to you about a little bit different angle if you're being followed or think you're being followed. Hi, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. I'm the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, which is premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. I've been the follower many times doing surveillance. I have the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance. I have, oddly enough, been followed a couple of times, or at least had someone try to. And it's not a big deal, not a big deal at all. But here's what you have to decide when you're being followed. There's two things to do. Do you want to lose the tail, lose the guy that's following you, or do you want to out the tail, figure out who it is that's following you? That's a decision you have to make, and think about it now because they're two very different things. You may lose the tail, shake the guy, and now you're safe again. But then your mind starts to wonder, who was this? What was this going on? And then you're always wondering and looking. If you do a different tact, which is to out the tail to figure out who's following you, then there's a lot more peace of mind afterwards. Although, if not done well, it can be a little more dangerous in the moment, right? So losing a tail is the type of thing where you can go into a public area or go to some place where this person doesn't want to go. Maybe you can make the 3 or 4 left-hand turns. The person realizes that you're onto them, and they break the tail and they leave on their own, that type of thing. So you can lose a tail a few different ways. I always would caution you, do it safely. There are some cute and clever things. Maybe you've seen some stuff in the movies, but running a red light, if you get T-boned, you're not too hard to follow. The guy can just sit there and watch and record until the squad comes and then follow the squad. So you have to be careful about how you lose a tail. Outing a tail, figuring out who it is. Say you do drive to a fast food restaurant and you go to the drive-through window and you ask them, call the police, I'm being followed, and you give them the description. That might lead to the police stopping that car, in which case now what's going to transpire is it's all public record. You can check it all out, even if you don't want to stick around in that moment. Of course, I have the public records mini course. You don't even need that though. But you can go back and you can look at that traffic stop and the details of it to figure out who that person was. Obviously, 21st century. Yeah, now you can just get on your cell phone and call the police yourself. And again, maybe you're not going to want to do evasive maneuvers. Maybe you're going to make it very easy for that person to follow you so that the police do get a chance to get there and catch up and stop the guy. Just two different ways to think about it, losing a tail versus outing a tail. Consider now the pros and cons so that in the unlikely chance that you do find yourself being followed, you can make a more informed decision. In the meantime, this is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.